Extreme Monsters, Book 2, What's with Wulf? Chapter 5, Wulf's Awful Idea. Inside Val's garage, amid the fallen trophies, scattered equipment, and overturned workbenches, Jinx sat on the concrete floor, holding a pen and yellow notepad, facing Steiner and Mumford. We've got to stop feeling guilty about what happened to Wulf and start using our heads to help him, she said. Steiner and Mumford were nodding eagerly. Who am I kidding? I probably feel guiltiest of all. I know how Wulf is, and how he sometimes has huge feelings he doesn't know how to handle. I shouldn't have let him get to me. I shouldn't have goaded him, Jinx thought miserably. All right, Jinx said, trying to sound upbeat. The first thing is the spell. I know Wulf started with the Forget Me spell, because that's what I was studying when he grabbed my opened book. It begins, Ice cream, popcorn, lemon twist. Forget me, pal, I don't exist. Jinx wrote that down on her yellow notepad. That's bad enough. Luckily, it didn't work, because we can remember him. She looked up at the others. Except he kept waving my wand around, and even a small dip of a wand can change the meaning of a phrase or turn it into its opposite. And don't forget, he kept throwing in other stuff, Mumford reminded her. Something about a star, I think. Or, yeah, it was a superstar. Jinx wrote down superstar. Then Wulf flipped to a different page and started reading the invisibility chart, only he started somewhere in the middle. She grabbed her spell book and flipped through the pages. That's 8th level, so I haven't really studied it yet, but I was reading ahead, so I recognized it. I think he started around here. Air, clear water, ghostly pale, may my magic never fail. Jinx wrote it down carefully. Except, instead of never fail, Wulf said, bite my tail, said Steiner. I remember because I thought it was funny. Jinx groaned. Asking magic to bite your tail was just plain stupid, and not the least bit funny. Magic was contrary, and had a way of biting the hand that directed it anyway, unless that hand was very careful. She crossed out never fail and wrote down bite my tail. He read some other stuff, Mumford said. I know, Jinx agreed. She flipped through the spell book. I think he read a bit of an ego-strengthening charm too, only I don't know which one. He mentioned us somewhere in his spell, except he had said extreme monster. Steiner said, just one. Yeah, Mumford added, and Team Pendant too. On her yellow pad, Jinx wrote down ego charm. Then she wrote down extreme monster, Team Pendant. She looked at the others expectantly. What else? Steiner and Mumford shrugged. It was just gibberish, Steiner said, except for something about an amazing stunt and the roller coaster. But it all rhymed, Mumford reminded them. I was really impressed, but that's all I remember. Jinx sighed and wrote down amazing stunt, roller coaster. I don't remember any more either, she said miserably. I was too angry and upset to pay proper attention. She looked from Steiner to Mumford. I was watching Val, Steiner said. Mumford nodded. Me too. Jinx put her chin in her hands and stared at the others unhappily. The truth is, we have to remember what Wulf said, not to mention what he did with my wand while he said it. If we can't, Wulf might be doomed. Come on, Jinx, You're the smartest one here. You'll figure out how to undo the spell, Steiner said. Besides, you're the only witch. Mumford's eyes were big and pleading inside his bandages. So you're the only one who can. Late that afternoon, Val was still watching from his hiding place behind the tires in the Team Pendant practice yard. He was bored. After Val had toppled the tires, he grinned just thinking about it. The Slime brothers had kept well away from Wulf. They were on the other side of the yard, watching Wulf do a double or Ida, an alley-oop 720 that he landed on the half-pipe, followed by a misty flip with a stalefish grab off a ramp. Val put his head in his hands and closed his eyes. He'd seen Wulf practicing like a maniac plenty of times. How could he call Jinx's practice wimpy just because it involved a book? He smiled. Wulf wasn't always logical. Val thought that perhaps it was time to head home. The benefit was tomorrow, and Val needed to be practicing his stunts too, or at the very least helping Jinx figure out how to undo the hex. He figured that the Slime brothers wouldn't go near Wulf now, not after the scolding they got. Val jerked awake at his half-vampire ears, picked up Clem's hoarse whisper across the yard. I can't believe that guy is still at it, Clem muttered softly to his brother. Wulf's totally hardcore. Everything he does seems off the charts, Cletus admitted begrudgingly. But nothing he does makes him happy. Clem was disgusted. The only way that jerk's gonna be happy is if the stunt is so impossible nobody could do it and live. Hey, bro, Cletus whispered to Clem. That's an idea. A darn fine idea. Huh? Grunted Clem. What do you mean? Look, Wulf wants to do a spectacular stunt to save the roller coaster, right? And he's our teammate and our new best pal, right? Cletus said. Nope, Clem guessed. Cletus punched him hard in the warty arm. Pay attention. We pretend, see? We go over there and help a stupid werewolf think of a stunt so dangerous, just trying it will put him in the hospital, or worse. The Slime brothers strolled over to the half-pipe where Wulf was practicing. Dude, you are the best blader we've ever seen, Cletus began. Wulf ignored him, soaring up the wall of the half-pipe and into the air. Yeah, you must be like a skating Einstein, Clem added. Wulf soared up the other wall, caught air, did a 180, and slid down again. He wasn't working out exactly. He was just keeping his body busy so his brain had time to think. And it's real noble of you to want to save that old roller coaster. I bet if the stunt you did was spectacular enough, you could save it single-handed, without anybody else's help, Cletus told him. You just need a stunt that will showcase your incredible talent. After all, it's all about the roller coaster. That got Wulf's attention. He landed a slide and frowned at them. A stunt? Wulf said. Something that involves the roller coaster? That would be amazing, Clem sighed. But what? I could blade beneath the pylons, do my stunts there, Wulf said thoughtfully. Cletus shook his head. Too ordinary for a guy like you. The official stunt area is almost beneath the roller coaster anyway. Yeah, you're right, Wulf muttered. The Extreme Monsters stunt must be unique. He frowned. Clem and Cletus waited. I've got it, Wulf said. His red monster eyes began to glow excitedly. What if I climb to the top of the coaster and blade down the rail? Not bad, Cletus said, but is it wild enough? While I'm doing it, I wear a League Standard Neutralizer wristband to remove my monster powers. Wulf suggested, looking excited. You're almost there, cried Clem. Blindfolded, shouted Wulf. I'll blade the coaster without monster powers and blindfolded. Cletus and Clem high-fived each other. Slime oozed from their palms and splashed down around them. Genius, they chanted, with a horrible, warty double grin. The brothers clapped Wulf on the back with sticky fingers. Why don't you go inside and tell the boss? As Wulf bladed off to the building, Clem and Cletus gave each other thumbs up. Wulf was going to do more than go to the hospital. He was going to break his neck. At least now that the Slime Brothers know Wulf is doomed, they'll lay off trying to hurt him, Val thought as he turned to mist and floated over the wall. That was the only good thing that had come out of this day. He hoped Jinx had found a way to reverse that awful spell. As he hovered in midair, Val turned back into a half-vampire boy. He picked up his board where he had hidden it and skated for home. It wouldn't hurt if Jinx's cure included some way to make Wulf forget this insane stunt either, Val thought.